Good day, Mr. Simons here. Alright, now it's just a request for some other third expression a learner got stuck with, so yes, explain and solve. Right, so to refresh, we're simplifying by rationalizing denominators, which I've done in 1.13, the lesson, but I'm just doing another lesson. So square root 13 divided by square root 12. So in short, we do not want square root 12 at the bottom. Square roots must only be on the top as numerators, but not denominators. So if I have one square root or one term, I simply multiply by that square root 12 over square root 12. So that, according to first law of thirds, become one big square root, and I say 3 times the 12. Same thing at the bottom, one big square root, that becomes 12 times 12. So 3 times 12 gives me 36. 12 times 12 gives me 144. Right, square root 36 is 6. Square root 144 is 12. 6 goes in itself once, and 6 goes in 12 twice, so my final answer, 1 over 2. So that's how we rationalize when I only have one term as a denominator. Right, now in problem number 2, we have more than one term at the bottom. I have 2 square root 3 plus 3 square root 2. 12 over there. As soon as I have more than one term, and 2, I will always use difference of 2 squares. So look at 2 square root 3 plus 3 square root 3. I multiply by exactly the same term. No? But instead of having positive, now I have negative. That's to ensure when I multiply out, there's no middle term that still has a square root sign. What I do at the bottom, I must do on top. So that becomes 2 square root 3 minus 3 square root 2. So that becomes 12 times that. Yeah, 2 square root 3 plus 3 square root 3 times 2 square root 3 minus 3 square root 3. So 12 times 2 would give me 24 square root 3. Positive times negative stays negative. 12 times 3 gives me 36 square root 2. There, 2 times 2 would give me 4. And square root 3 times square root 3 simply becomes 3. Positive times the negative would give me negative. 3 times 3 would give me 9. And square root 2 times square root 2 becomes 2. Right, so there on the top, 24 and 36 should see highest common factor that can divide in both is 6. So if I take out 6, 24 divided by 6 gives me 4 square root 3. Negative divided by positive stays negative. 36 divided by 6 gives me 6 square root 2. 4 times 3 would give me 12. 9 times 2 gives me 18. Right? So I have 6 times 4 square root 3 minus 6 square root 2 on top. And 12 minus 18 would give me negative 6. 6 and 6 cancels. But I'm left with a negative sign which goes in front of the bracket. So I'm multiplying, negative times positive gives me negative 4 square root 3. Negative times negative become positive 6 square root 2. So that's basically the two ways we rationalize, and we can make it one sum. So you'll see in number 3, we're going to solve now one sum where we give you a whole expression that has 2 terms and 1 term. So in problem number 3, now I have square root 3 divided by square root 3 minus 1 minus 2 square root 3. So again, square root 3 minus 1. So if I have 2 terms as a denominator, I'm always going to multiply by difference of 2 squares. Meaning I multiply by the same terms, but I simply change the sign. Instead of negative there, it becomes positive. 2 at the bottom, I must do on top. Minus 2 over square root 3, I only have 1 square root or 1 term at the bottom. Therefore, multiply by square root 3 over square root 3. Right, so there it becomes square root 3 times square root 3 plus 1. And square root 3 minus 1 times square root 3 plus 1. The side, 2 times square root 3. According to first law, I can put them all under the same square root. 3 times 3, or you could go straight and write it as 3. Right, square root 3 times square root 3 would give me 3. And 1 times square root 3 simply becomes square root 3. Square root 3 times square root 3 is 3. Negative times positive stays negative. 1 times 1 stays 1. There, 2 square root 3 over 3. Right, so if I simplify, I have 3 plus square root 3 over 2. And I have 2 square root 3 over 3. This fraction and that fraction, to add them together, the denominators here, the 2 and the 3, must be the same value. So I just swap the values around and multiply. So this 3 I take to this side and I say times 3 over 3. The 2 from this side, I take that side and I say times 2 over 2. So 3 times 3 gives me 9. 3 times square root 3 gives me 3 square root 3. And 3 times 2 would give me 6. Minus 2 times 2, which becomes 4 square root 3. And 3 times 2 then gives me 6. Now that the denominators are the same, I can add the numerators. So that becomes 9 plus 3 square root 3 minus 4 square root 3. So negative 4 square root 3 plus 3 square root 3. They are like terms. So 4 minus 3, or minus 4 plus 3 gives me minus 1 square root 3. So my final answer, 9 minus square root 3 divided by 6. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.